Hello guys, my name is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. And can you believe it? It's Transgender Day of Remembrance already. How crazy is that? The whole week has flown. I hope you've really enjoyed the videos. I will be letting you guys know how much money we have raised for Not a Phase, the amazing non-profit that we are supporting with these videos. So I will let you guys know probably in around about kind of mid-December to late December, just to give the videos time to really gain that revenue, and then I will be donating it to Not a Phase, and I will of course be letting you guys know. And like I said, 100% of the profits go to that charity, so please share these videos and all of that good stuff. And I hope you enjoyed Transgender Awareness Week, and I hope you learned something from Transgender Awareness Week. I hope that maybe you have taken the information here and have already helped educate someone else. But today is, of course, Transgender Day of Remembrance. And so today's video naturally has to be a little bit more serious, a little bit more emotional. I will probably cry. Sorry about it. And I really want to just talk to you guys about what Transgender Day of Remembrance means and what it represents for our community. So Transgender Day of Remembrance is a really important day, not only in the LGBTQ calendar, but truthfully, it should be in everyone's calendar. It memorialises those within our community who have unfortunately lost their lives at the hands of transphobic crimes. Transgender Day of Remembrance was first officially observed in 1999 by trans activist and advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith. Gwendolyn founded Transgender Day of Remembrance to memorialise her friend Rita Hester, who was murdered in a transphobic crime and act. The very first visual for Transgender Day of Remembrance and the visual for Rita was held on the 4th of December 1998, the following Friday from Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance ever since 1999 has been observed throughout the United States, the United Kingdom and the rest of the world in order to memorialise those who have died because of transphobic crimes. I also like to use Transgender Day of Remembrance to remember my fallen brothers and sisters who lost their battle with mental health, who maybe have died of natural causes, and I also like to use Transgender Day of Remembrance as a day to remember those who didn't live as much of their lives as their true self out of fear, out of transphobia and all of those things, not only in present day but also in the past when people were forced inside the closet and were forced to live as their false identities and their inauthentic selves. So not only is Transgender Day of Remembrance incredibly important for remembering those who have died because of transphobic crimes, it's also just a great day to remember every trans person who you've met in your life, who maybe you've come across. And it's a really important day to memorialise their lives. People who have lost their lives and haven't been brought to justice. People who have lost their lives and their murderers were never even charged. So Transgender Day of Remembrance is incredibly important for remembering those people and those fallen brothers and sisters and gender non-binary trans individuals of trans experience within our community on this very sad day. For me, I think as well, because of the year that 2020 has been, I really want to talk about how much it has affected trans people, how much it has affected the rise in crime against trans people and through transphobic crimes, and the huge impact it's had on the mental health of trans individuals throughout the world. COVID-19 put a huge pause on so many medical treatments for trans people throughout the entire world, which had a huge knock-on effect to the mental health of every trans person on the globe. Waitlists were extended, people's surgeries were pushed back, some even by multiple years. And I just wanted to take the day to remember all of the people who took their own lives during lockdown, who suffered horrendously due to mental health during lockdown, people who have died so far this year because of transphobic crimes. 2020 so far has had one of the highest mortality rates of trans individuals at the hands of transphobic murderers throughout history. Not only the crimes that have been reported, which have surpassed last year's, but the crimes that haven't. The people who have been killed, the people who have been killed whose murderers weren't charged, weren't found. Our trans friends and people within our community of trans experience who lost their lives to suicide, exacerbated by what a horrendous year 2020 was. On this channel, I talk about trans issues in a light-hearted way. I talk about how life is as a trans person, but I try to keep it light and fun. But today is a day to remember those who have lost their lives, not only through suicide, not only through the loss of those battles, but also at the hands of transphobic acts and crimes. People who've been murdered just for being transgender, and there's no way to put a positive spin on that, there's just not. There are people in the world being killed just for being trans. 2020 was a year when we saw huge protests globally, and I just hope that we're one step closer to a year where something like Transgender Day of Remembrance doesn't need to exist, because no one's been killed just for being who they are. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed this series. I know I have adored making it. I would love any of your feedback. Thank you so much for helping me to support an amazing charity that I wasn't affiliated with in any way. It was just a charity that I loved, people that have inspired me, helping to educate and raise awareness of trans people in the United Kingdom. So it was really important to me to support. So thank you so much for watching these videos and supporting, or potentially even having gone and bought the merch. Thank you so much for that. Today is a sad day to remember all of those people. But the best thing we can do is to celebrate them, to remember them, to live our lives as our authentic selves, and to push forward for trans equality and trans rights globally. I will see you guys very soon for another video. And again, just thank you so much.